All right, let's just dive right in. We are going to unpack the secrets from the absolute classic book, The Millionaire Next Door. Our goal? To give you a 5-step plan that can fundamentally change your financial future. And forget what you think you know. The fancy cars, the mansions. We're talking about the real, kind of quiet way that actual wealth is built.
So, when I say the word millionaire, what pops into your head? A tech founder with a sprawling mansion? A celebrity hopping on a private jet? Well, the research in this book pretty much turns that entire image upside down. The typical millionaire? Yeah, they look nothing like that.
And this right here is the single most important idea in the whole book. See, the authors found that a big paycheck doesn't mean you're wealthy. Not at all. Real wealth is your net worth, what you own minus what you owe. It's not about how much you earn, it's all about how much you manage to keep.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start by totally redefining wealth. Then we'll get into the specific habits you need to master, a simple way to check your own progress, a pretty tough lesson about money and family, and finally, the most empowering secret of them all.
Okay, first up, step 1. We've got to redefine wealth. The book breaks this down into a choice between 2 totally different financial paths. You're either a PAW or a UAA. On one side, you've got your PAWs. That stands for prodigious accumulators of wealth. Think of them like the tortoise in the old story. Slow, steady, and just brilliant at turning their income into actual real wealth. And on the other side, you've got the UAWs, the under-accumulators of wealth. These are the hares. They often make a ton of money, doctors, lawyers, but they spend it just as fast on a high-end lifestyle, leaving them with shockingly little to show for it.
So how do you become a PA? Well, that leads us right to step 2. You have to master your savings by living well below your means. And just to be clear, this isn't some friendly suggestion. This is the #1 absolute non-negotiable habit of the wealthy. And here's the wild part. Building wealth often looks, kind of boring. PAWs are consistently saving and investing 15 to 20% or more of their income. They drive reliable used cars. They live in totally normal neighborhoods. The book even found the average millionaire had never spent more than $400 on a suit. They are playing a completely different game than most people.
This quote really gets to the core of it all, doesn't it? Their goal isn't to look rich, it's to actually be financially free. They value that freedom and security way, way more than they value impressing their neighbors with a new car or a designer watch.
Now for step 3. Let's calculate your progress. The book gives us a super simple and maybe a little brutally honest formula to see if you're actually on the right track for your age and income.
Okay, go ahead and grab your phone's calculator if you want. It's just 3 easy steps. First, take your age. Second, multiply that by your gross pre-tax annual household income. Then, just divide that big number by 10.
That final number you're looking at, that's your wealth benchmark. It's essentially the net worth you should have right now based on your age and income if you've been a pretty decent saver and investor.
So, how'd you do?
If your actual net worth is double that number, hey, congratulations, you're a PAW. If it's less than half of that number, you're leaning more towards being a UAW. It's a really powerful reality check, isn't it? All right, on to step 4, and this one can be tough. It's one of the most controversial ideas in the entire book. Cut the financial cord. This all has to do with something the authors call economic outpatient care.
Economic outpatient care, or EOC, is just a fancy term for when parents regularly give big financial gifts to their adult children. Helping with the down payment, paying off their car. It sounds nice, right? What parent doesn't want to help? But the research is truly shocking. It often ends up doing more harm than good by creating financial dependency.
And the data on this is crystal clear. The study found that adult children who were financially self-sufficient, the ones who didn't get regular cash handouts from mom and dad, they actually ended up accumulating more wealth than those who did. It proves that financial independence is like a muscle. You've got to use it for it to get strong.
This leads us right into our final and honestly most empowering step of all. Step 5, build it yourself. This one just shatters the myth that you have to be born into wealth to become wealthy.
I want you to just stare at this number for a second. 80%. A full 80% of the millionaires in this massive study were first-generation wealthy. Think about that. They didn't inherit their money. They built their entire net worth from scratch with their own 2 hands through discipline and smart choices.
So what were they doing for a living? Well, it wasn't just high-flying tech CEOs and Wall Street bankers.
More often, they were self-employed owners of what the book famously calls dull, normal businesses. We're talking about welders, auctioneers, pest controllers, farmers, people who found a real need in their community and simply built a profitable business to solve it. It just proves the path to wealth is open to way more people than we think.
So, if you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. True, lasting wealth isn't about how big your paycheck is. It's about discipline, it's about playing good defense with your money, and consistently investing over the long haul. It's not what you make, it's what you keep and what you grow.
And really, it all boils down to this single question. After hearing all this, you have a choice to make. Do you want to spend your money looking rich today, or do you want to build the habits to actually be rich for the rest of your life? The choice is all yours.